Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews. We need your support, so if you like what we do, please support us by joining our Patreon page. I'm excited to announce our new partnership with Pureit Bowling. Visit our partner pureitbowling.com and use the special code TAMER when making a purchase to be entered into a monthly drawing. In this episode, we are testing the Ebonite Destiny line. We are testing on a medium, high volume house shot. First impressions, these Destiny balls offer awesome bang for the buck. These are 3 balls that could theoretically offer a complete arsenal for just about the price of one high-end ball. For value, an A score is a no-brainer on these. They're excellent bang for the buck. Overall, we give the Destiny balls a B+ collectively. Here's the thing, if you're seeing typical medium or low volume house shots, these Destiny balls could probably be as high as A+, again, collectively. The balance of score is that even the solid isn't quite enough for higher than medium conditions, but to be fair, Ebonite doesn't claim these balls are for that. The Destiny balls are very predictable. They don't have the characteristics that cause uncalled for overreaction. Starting with the solid, I will say it's probably my favorite. That's because the blend of solid cover stock with this medium strength core gives it the most predictability and smoothness of the 3 balls. It's not hard to get length, and the ball comes off the spot smoothly. If you have lots of friction, it can certainly display more aggressive characteristics and come off the spot harder. The 11.2 cover can come off the friction hard, especially with a medium, weaker core that stores more energy like this one. I like the smooth but booming shape of the Destiny Solid. Moving to the hybrid, it's what you expect in relation to the solid. It's out-of-box finish, now shined up, gives it added length. Hitting the friction makes it bounce a bit harder off the spot down lane. Staying in the oil means it definitely floats more than the solid with less drive. So the hybrid will look better for me with some breakdown or a bit less slick house shot that we happen to be playing on. This ball can definitely be the Goldilocks on the right condition. It was a little in between for this particular pattern, playing a little longer on these cold days on the East Coast. It's too long to play in the slick part of the lane and too strong to play in the dry. With the Pearl, it was a touch easier for me to use over the hybrid on this particular house pattern. It displays a little weaker cover characteristics, so the added length means I could get a little closer to the friction line, and it'll still be quick off the dry. I can tell you when the conditions are a little lighter than we see in the fall here, this ball and the other Destiny balls look especially good. Shawn's up next, and again you can see the capabilities of these Destiny balls. Even for Shawn, while the solid requires some room, it is tight on this pattern that's playing a little slicker. Because it's not a huge motor or a huge cover, misses out don't quite bang their way back from that deep, and misses in still will nose up. But focusing on ball motion is key, as these balls look so good and matched up to the lighter conditions where these flaws would be masked more. The general characteristic here for the solid is that misses in don't really hold, as it just stores a bit too much energy. And even the lower axis rotation shot that Shawn uses occasionally worked fairly well with the solid. For the hybrid, Shawn didn't really see a very different reaction than I. The shape again is very nice. Just need to match it to a little lower volume house shot. And we did get an opportunity to see these when the lanes are broken down or just played less tight, and the balls really did look fantastic. Bryan's up next, and again focusing on the shape of the ball reaction. For Bryan, the lower end pieces show that they are a bit out of their element for him, as he would typically be using more aggressive pieces, especially so on this condition. So while he lost, some forgiveness due to how tight it is, you can still see the shape of the equipment. You can also see when the balls are not enough in certain cases. Even with the Solid, you can see that it just doesn't have enough traction to come off the spot hard enough to drive through the pins consistently for Bryan on this pattern. When Bryan switches over to the hybrid, he sees more pop and drive through the pins. Since he's playing very close to the friction, he's getting that extra stored energy from the change in cover stock to have a better look. This still gives you an idea of what Bryan will see. I mean, while this is maybe a little higher volume than I personally might want to play these, for Bryan it's even more so the case. Interestingly, moving on to the Pearl, and actually this was probably the best matchup of the three balls for Bryan. He now got length, but even more drive off the friction. The added stored energy meant a more consistent drive and move off the spot. Final thoughts. I feel very good in saying these balls are some of the best bang for the buck out there as a collective trio. Very few, if any, brands keep a Solid, Hybrid, and Pearl in their entry-level line. And this gives experienced bowlers a step down in dry conditions while giving budget-conscious or entry-level bowlers excellent options. These are meant for medium to light oil conditions or broken down conditions, and on those conditions, these will hit well and will not feel underpowered. The reaction shape is simple and predictable. I love the Destiny Solid for giving you a weaker Solid option that really is rarely offered in the lower lines. You can get smoother predictability without having to drop into a Pearl. The Hybrid looks great and can easily be the Goldilocks in some situations, and the Pearl looked quite good and offered exactly what you would expect in relation to those. All in all, I love that Ebonite filled this niche.
Anh thì tôi nào giờ tôi ở đây mà tôi lại coi review